Hello class, we will continue with the networking chapter. Today the topic which we are going to discuss is mobile computing, basically. The different generations that have come up with mobile technologies, and basically we have to see from the very beginning how it is developed. So the first thing which is there in your curriculum is about GSM. GSM standard. It is not a technology, it is a standard. Standard means it's basically a kind of system which will provide us with certain features, right? At the very beginning, when the mobile phone was introduced, that is 1G I'm talking about, that time the things were like purely and based on analog signals. Okay, people could not think even that it can be a digital signal, and therefore a lot of things can be provided, a lot of features can be added with the mobile phones. So what happened, then came this GSM standard. Certain features were added in the European countries. It was first introduced, and what happened, some of the features were added to it. So if these features are there, then we can say that this technology is of GSM standard. Fine. GSM stands for Global System for Mobile Communication, Global System for Mobile Communication, and it basically uses two technologies. One is called PDMA, another is called FDMA. These full forms sometimes they ask in CBSE. This is called time division multiple access, and this one is called frequency division multiple access. On the basis of these two technologies, GSM standard started working. Now, what was the GSM standard? What are the features it provided? First of all, GSM standard means it's a digital kind of connections. Secondly, what happened is GSM provided with a lot of other features which you get to see nowadays, which are very common in cell phones. For example, call forwarding, caller ID, right? Then call waiting. Call waiting, I believe you know that you can keep one call on hold and receive the other call that is there on the line. So these all the features were first available with GSM, right? And then what happened, this GSM, there is another thing, another important point that you have to remember, that GSM standard is the first one where the SIM card was used. Okay, SIM also is an abbreviated form. I guess most of you would be knowing it. It is called subscriber identity module, or sometimes it is called subscriber identification module. Okay, we know that in a SIM card, what is there? In SIM card, basically a small circuit is there, right? Basically that circuit is a small processor, and also there is a part of RAM involved in that. The RAM doesn't have a very great capacity. It is hardly, the maximum limit will be 64 KB. That is basically just to store your various contact details and information about your SIM. That is, you are having a SIM means you are identified by a particular number, unique number. So that number and other details can be stored in SIM. So the SIM card was first used in GSM standard. Fine. Parallel to that, when this GSM standard was in practice in European countries and some of the other countries, what happened? USA came up with another technology called CDMA. That is called Code Division Multiple Access. You don't have to remember all this because in the notes I will provide with all the full forms. Now, why Code Division Multiple Access came up parallel to that? Because GSM was not able to cater to a large number of customers. But in USA, what happened? Many people, millions and millions of people could afford that technology, that much money they had. So CDMA, another basically form of mobile communication was thought of, a standard was thought of, whereby many more people could be accommodated. But the problem was the CDMA, one of the most important feature of CDMA was that CDMA phones did not have a SIM card. That means all related to the SIM was already installed in the handset. So when the moment you switch on your handset or you start using this handset, the handset used to connect to the local telephone office, or you can say the local network tower, or whatever, whosoever is providing you with the facilities, the connections. So that was the difference between CDMA and GSM. That in CDMA we did not use any SIM card, but GSM standard means a SIM card was necessary and certain features were added up which were not present in the first generation mobile phones. Now let us not talk about more about generations, because 1G, 2G, 3G, this evolution is there in your syllabus, and that we have to discuss as a separate topic. I am coming to that point later. So this is all about GSM. You have to know a few features which we got, and this full forms. Nothing else would be required from this. The next topic which we are going to do is GPRS. GPRS, General Packet Radio Service. What is GPRS? GPRS is basically based on, or as an or you can say introduced as an extension of 2G technology. Fine. When we will discuss 2G technology, I will tell you how 2G technology came. But GPRS basically came along with the 2G technology, after 2G technology have come. What is it? It is basically a radio, general packet radio service. It's basically a packet switching kind of technique, but packet switching technique used for wireless communication, right? So with the GPRS, what happened? First time, we felt that we can access to the websites, we can access internet signals through our handset. That was the advantage GPRS gave us. And also with the introduction of GPRS, what happened? First time, MMS was possible, that is multimedia messaging was possible. Earlier what was happening with the normal 2G connection, you could only send the text messages, that is SMS. But with GPRS, MMS, that is multimedia messaging, was also possible. This one should be good enough for you to know about GPRS. Fine. Now, obviously the GPRS did not have a very good internet signal or internet connection or speed. Uploading and downloading speed was not very much, and very expensive also in those days. Fine. So parallel to that, one more technology came up, that is called WLL, or sometimes it is written as WILL. Both are basically the same thing. It is called wireless in local loop, and sometimes it is also called wireless in local loop. Basically it is the same thing. What is WLL connection or WLL technology? WLL technology is basically you will be connected to the telephone tower without any cable connection, without any wire. Normally what was happening, that if you wanted to have internet connection or normal telephone connection from your telephone office, the basically physical wire has to come, right? In most of the houses, even if you have nowadays the normal landline connection in your house, landline connection means there has to be a physical wire coming up from the telephone office to your, through various junctions though, will come to our houses, right? But in WLL connection, first time it was wireless. That means from your telephone office or the service provider to your house, there will be no wire connection. So that is how basically it became a slightly cheap, because copper wires are always expensive, right? So what you have to do, you have to have basically a trans receiver, right? WLL connection means you have to, if you take a WLL connection, then you will be having a trans receiver kind of thing, which will be installed in one place, and from that your phone will be connected. Just like the way you get a small box kind of thing when you get the normal landline connection, you will see a white kind of box. Okay, through that box basically the cable comes up. So similar kind of one box used to be there. That is basically the trans receiver. What was the purpose of the trans receiver? The trans receiver will be inside your house, and the purpose of the trans receiver is to receive the signal from the tower, from the telephone office or the tower. It will receive the signals, and it used to be the signal, internet signal used to be given, or the normal phone connection signal used to be given through radio link, through the radio waves basically. Okay. And then with the trans receiver, your handset will be connected. That handset can be connected through a wire or maybe wireless. That's a different thing, that different issue altogether. So that was the system of WLL. It became quite popular at one point of time, especially in India around 2000, 2001, 2002. During that time it became popular. Then Indian government found there is a great possibility of starting this technology in the remote villages, so that because a wide area could be given internet connection through this. Fine. And WLL definitely gave a better bandwidth than the dial-up connection, because those days only dial-up connections were there. So it gave a better bandwidth, better improved quality of voice communication. Okay. But finally WLL did not become so successful, because soon after WLL the 3G, and 3G was shortly followed by the 4G technology. With 4G, one technology came up called LTE. Okay, 4G LTE it is called. Okay, 4G LTE came so fast soon after WLL. It stands for basically long-term evolution. This long-term evolution technology, along with 4G, when it came up, in fact soon after 3G only it was introduced, and it was properly implemented after the 4G connection came, the technology came up. So with that we found the internet speed has increased tremendously, and a lot of other facilities with the 4G technology give us were possible. That is how slowly the WLL technology got obsolete. Fine. So in my next video I will discuss that how 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, all these generations have come, and what all were their features, right?